Hello Power Rangers fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. So today, just wanted to, post a little video, kind of just talk about my thoughts on the really unfortunate news that happened over the weekend. Just wanted to record an impromptu video, just off the cuff, what I have to say, what I want to say. Not going to do much editing in this video whatsoever. I'm not trying to make content out of it specifically. I just want to share my thoughts. And so, there's not going to be music in this video. I might put some pictures or something in just to have something to cut away from every once in a while. But no music, no flashing neon sign. This video is not going to be monetized. It doesn't deserve to be. That'd be wrong. But, yeah. So, over the weekend, as I'm sure you all probably know, we found out about the very unfortunate passing of Jason David Frank, who, of course, is the iconic actor who played Tommy Oliver in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, Power Rangers Zeo, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers Wild Force, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Power Rangers Super Mega Force, Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, Power Rangers Hyper Force. Crazy amount of Power Rangers appearances. And one of my personal favorite characters in the franchise. Might even be my favorite character in the franchise. So, when we first found out about this, we had some, very out there reports about it on Saturday nights, and then it was confirmed yesterday by, people close to him, and a bunch of different Power Rangers actors posted their tributes and everything like that. And I made a couple social media posts, like one on Lightning Fit PR, where I dug out all 9 of the Lightning Collection figures that they've made so far for Tommy, and took a nice little photo of them. Just a kind of my own little way to post some kind of tribute besides this video. And it's hurt me more than I thought that it would. Not that I ever, thought about this ever happening, especially in the very, very sad way that it did. But wow. I still can't even believe it, when I see it on social media and stuff like that, everybody talking about it, because it's just been all over the place. I've had family members texting me about it and stuff like that if I didn't, if I hadn't known, or, wondering if I knew or not. And it's just, yeah, I cannot believe it. From a very young age, now, of course, a lot of people have a very, very deep connection to Tommy, Jason David Frank, because they grew up with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the 90s. And, Tommy was always the cool guy. He was the leader of the team. He was kind of that lone wolf kind of character, kind of the badass. So, of course, people, drew, their attention and their focus and their love to that character. And I never had that specifically because I was born in 2001 during Time Force. So, and I didn't start watching Power Rangers until Samurai. So, honestly, the first Mighty Morphin character that I was introduced to was Bulk, being on Samurai. But I always kind of talk about this, and I think I've talked about this in other videos and everything, but during the hiatus period in the summer of 2012, during the hiatus of Super Samurai, I went back on Netflix and watched a ton of the older seasons, or I watched Linkara's History of Power Rangers and kind of familiarized myself with the franchise. That was kind of the first time I really started to learn about it in big detail. And I definitely saw the presence that Jason David Frank had on the franchise, and the powerful, presence of the character of Tommy Oliver that he had on the franchise. And I understood it. I was like, that's really, really cool. And Dino Thunder, I watched that for the first time in 2012, is still my favorite season of all time. I think that his role in that's always been my favorite Tommy appearance, has been as Dr. O in Dino Thunder, which makes me incredibly excited, but also now very bittersweet to finally be getting a Lightning Collection figure of Dr. Oliver in 2023 in Lightning Collection Wave 13 or 14. So definitely going to be very excited to get that, but it's now going to just be very bittersweet. Like today, my Dragonzord is arriving, and I've never owned a Dragonzord before in my collection, and the timing of me finally being able to own one now is just going to be kind of sad. And, when I was younger, around that 2012, 2013 kind of era of time, I really looked up to JDF quite a bit, a lot. And I remember showing my parents, or specifically I remember showing my mom, some videos of him at, I think it was like San Diego Comic-Con 2013, or some videos he appeared in on the MMPR Toys YouTube channel or something like that, and just kind of showed them like, hey, look at this guy, he really lives a life as a Power Ranger, you know, he lives by those ideals, he lives by that kind of message and those kind of virtues and that kind of moral stance. And I really looked up to that quite a bit. And, you know, obviously the fandom has clowned on him. He has made, you know, certain posts and certain, you know, social media campaigns, kind of stuff that's just been very cringy or have been, you know, kind of odd or whatever, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't define him as a person. I mean, it shouldn't define him as a person, because nobody's perfect. And has my personal opinion on JDF definitely changed throughout the years, but it doesn't make it any less sad that he's gone. And I just feel really, really upset about it. I cried a couple of times yesterday. There were so many really, really good tribute videos and posts and stuff like that. Ciara Hanna, who played Gia in Megaforce, she posted a very, very sad tribute on Instagram that was very beautifully worded, put together. But it's just like, I also kind of just feel upset that like I had the chance to meet him at Morphicon, and I kind of feel like maybe I should have now. I know he was not, from certain videos and everything, he was clearly not in the best, you know, state of mind at the time, which I think, you know, I feel bad that nobody, you know, not nobody, but, you know, it was, I just wish he had gotten the help that he needed, you know. And the fact that, you know, we're about to go into like the 30th anniversary, and he was never going to be in the 30th anniversary special, from what we know. I'm pretty confident of that. He was never going to appear because he seemed like he had some kind of falling out with Hasbro or something. It's not really my place, but I feel really bad now that he's not going to be a part of it. And we had, you know, tons and tons of Tommy appearances, so it's not like we are, you know, devoid of any Tommy appearances or you know, lacking in any Tommy appearances. But the fact that, like, you know, he's such a big part of the franchise and he's not going to be able to partake in the 30th anniversary, not even just not being in the 30th anniversary special, but just not being able to, you know, have con appearances or just kind of be in that environment, you know, just experiencing the celebration of the 30th anniversary with everybody is really sad. He deserves to have been able to do that. And I feel very, very bad that he won't be able to do that. And it's also just really sad that, like, Dimensions in Danger and Soul of the Dragon and his little Shattered Grid appearances on Hyperforce and that little promo video are now going to be his final, you know, his swan song as Tommy Oliver, of playing that role. And the character will live on, and that's what's so powerful and so fascinating about just, you know, entertainment and art in general, is that you can have these characters that are defined by people, but can live on past the person, you know, kind of give him a second life, which is just really beautiful, honestly. And the fact that, you know, we can still have him in the comics and everything like that, but the fact that he at least got to do a really cool Tommy-focused episode with Dimensions in Danger and Soul of the Dragon to kind of give a bookend to that character, or at least his time as the character, is something that I now look back on very, very fondly. I always liked Dimensions in Danger. I always liked Soul of the Dragon. They're some of my favorite Tommy appearances and Tommy storylines in general, but now they have a whole new perspective that whenever I rewatch them or anything like that, I'm definitely going to be thinking about. And, you know, like yesterday, I also watched Fighting Spirit, which is another episode that's going to have a lot more of a meaning to it now. It's now going to be a lot more of a sadder episode whenever I watch it. You know, it's an episode about Tommy fighting his, you know, inner demons, quote unquote. And when you think about what Jason David Frank was potentially going through, because we don't know exactly what he was going through, there's some interesting parallels there, which just kind of make it just kind of depressing. But it's still a beautiful episode, I think. I think it's a great episode to honor his character, and it's still going to be one of my all-time favorite episodes of the show. But it definitely made me cry watching it yesterday. But, you know, I hadn't seen it in about 2 years or so, was the last time I watched Dino Thunder, so I figured, if anything, I would at least watch that one. But, I'm just kind of rambling on and everything like that. You know, people asked if I was going to be making a video about this, and I thought about it. I wasn't sure exactly what to say. I mean, I didn't know the guy personally or anything like that, but it also just, you know, really, I love the fandom and everything so much. So when I see everybody just kind of collectively mourning and collectively celebrating, you know, his legacy, it's something that really, you know, it really had an impact on me. You know, I cried when I saw the Power Rangers Twitter account make a post about it last night. Because not that I thought Hasbro would not say anything, but I also wasn't sure if they would actually say anything or not. But it's just, you know, it's just, it sucks. It really does. And I wish that, you know, it didn't happen, obviously. He definitely, you know, deserved to have had many, many more years. And even if he never came back to Tommy, because he you know, recently he was promoting, you know, pretty much everything he had with Legend of the White Dragon, and kind of was saying that he was kind of done with his time as Tommy. And was that going to be 100% true forever? We'll never know. But, you know, it's just sad that now there isn't the chance for him to come back as that role. And, you know, it just sucks, you know? So, you know, I think I'm past I think I've been able to let the, you know, the tears out or anything like that, because I'm not crying in this video or anything like that, which I thought I might. I kind of let that out yesterday, and, you know, little intermental segments, or little small doses, I suppose. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to just not post a video about it, because I had people commenting, like, are you going to make a video about it? You know, not like people were saying I was ignoring it or anything like that, because I wasn't on my social media. I just hadn't made a video about it specifically. But also because, like, yesterday I had a very lazy weekend. I just kind of sat around, and the way that this made me feel, and just kind of the overall mood, also kind of just put me down yesterday. So I just was kind of like, I hadn't gotten a shower, so my hair looked ridiculous and stuff like that. So I didn't want to record anything like this yesterday. So I wanted to wait till today, when I was a little bit more put together, because I have classes and everything. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I kind of have to say. But just huge thank you to Jason David Frank for making such an awesome, iconic character that I'm going to still enjoy watching and reading about for the rest of my time as a Power Rangers fan, which I intend to be for the rest of my life. And while he didn't have necessarily as huge of an impact on me as other people did who grew up with him as literally, like, you know, their childhood icon in the 90s, or maybe even in the 2000s with Dino Thunder or something like that. And for me, my only times I ever got to watch, like, new episodes featuring Tommy was Super Mega Force and Super Ninja Steel. It's still, I got it, you know? I understood why he was such an icon, why his character was so popular, why he was always kind of regarded as, like, the best Power Ranger ever, or any of that kind of thing. And I think that's a status that is deserving of him. Like I said before, earlier in this video, he's always been one of my all-time favorites. He will continue to be. And, yeah, I think that's all I kind of have to say before I just continuously continue to ramble on. So, I would love to read your guys' comments down in the comments below. People left, like, it was like a very interesting, not coordinated effort whatsoever, but tons of people just commented RIP JDF on my Street Fighter videos yesterday, and I didn't mention it at all in the Street Fighter videos, because those were recorded on Saturday before this all happened, so I wouldn't have had even the chance to mention it unless I threw it into editing, but it had nothing to do with those videos, so I didn't mention it in those videos. But tons of people commented about it there, and I just thought that was really interesting that, like, you know, kind of everybody came together and kind of all unanimously decided to, you know, to say that. I thought it was really kind of beautiful, honestly. But I would love to read you guys' thoughts about it down in the comments below. Did you ever get to meet him? I'm thankful that I actually do have a couple signed items from him in my collection. Some friends of the channel, some fans of the channel, had sent over a Lightning Collection Zeo Red Ranger figure signed by him, and a little, like, postcard of Legend of the White Dragon. So those are sitting not here, unfortunately. They're back at my house, but I'm very honored to have those part of my collection, so I will cherish those forever. But yeah, that's going to do it. So that's all I got. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or LightningFigPR, and rest in peace.